It will be all it's hot time here. So I've been wanting to make this video because I've just been seeing a lot of it, going around. 5 reasons why you should start smoking weed. Now this coming from a damn near 10, 15 year weed smoking veteran. I quit a long time ago, and I'm so glad I did. That if you follow this advice here on this video, you might want to reconsider smoking weed because it's not as good as motherfuckers try to make it seem. Number one, number one reason why you should stop smoking weed, and I got my list right here because I smoked so much weed I couldn't remember this shit, even though I quit years ago. So it is what it is. Now, this is the number one reason that you should stop smoking weed. People always say, right, that they are more creative because they smoke. When in reality, creativity is your God-given gift. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to smoke weed to be more creative. You need to exercise your creativity, bro. Like, the more you access your creativity naturally, the more naturally creative you can be. And the shit that weed does to you is that, whoever introduced you to it, your homeboys, your homegirls, somebody peer pressure you into it, your cousins, your father, whatever. First, that shit gets you addicted to it. I knew some people that, smoke weed and things like that, and they never really got addicted to it because they just didn't like the feeling. But the average motherfucker, they gonna get addicted to the shit, from what I see. I never met one motherfucker in my personal life who smoked weed and just didn't like it, me included. All right? And as a person that smoked weed for many, many, many years, I totally understand what niggas mean when they say that, weed enhances your creativity. But the problem with that is it keeps you dependent on it. So you can't even be creative unless you are. So it's like creativity is your God-given gift. God bless you with the ability to be creative. But you stay stuck on that weed shit so much that eventually you start dependent on it for your creativity. And eventually that creativity get replaced with something else, which we will go over. So you really need to consider weaning yourself off weed, because the more you exercise your creativity, the more creative you can be at different avenues. So if you, like most people in my race, in my generation, music or whatever the fuck, music, art, whatever. No, if you only creative in music, then I never really see nobody else explore anything else, because they more closed off to it. You know what I'm saying? They more closed off to the idea of fashion design, or a motherfucker may have a beautiful voice back in my generation, but they wouldn't really exercise the R&B because it may seem like B2K, and may seem gay and all these things. But if you had a clear mind that you be able to think with, and you could see things from different perspectives because you got a clear mind, then you be able to exercise your creativity in any type of avenue. It doesn't matter where it is. A creative person don't need weed in order for them to be creative. Creativity is your God-given right. So just be reminded of that. Never feel like you need weed or a book or anything outside your own natural talent. Like, the only thing you may need is the rules of following whatever endeavor of creativity you in. There's certain rules you want to follow in music, certain rules you want to follow in fashion design, certain rules you want to follow in video creation, certain rules you want to follow in drawing. You know what I'm saying? But after you know those rules, give yourself the leeway to have a clear mind, to be able to think, okay, what boundaries do I want to break around in whatever endeavor I'm in? Because if you just house weed all the time, it may seem like you being creative. It may even give you a spark of creativity, but eventually that shit gonna get replaced by something else, which is this. Number 2, right? Weed is the best way to bring about self-induced psychosis. Now, trust me, I'm gonna get a swig real quick. A lot of people say that weed is gonna introduce you to the harder drugs, crack, cocaine, heroin, meth, all that stuff, right? I really ain't seen too many people gravitate towards that. But I'm of the different opinion that weed is gonna bring about something worse than the heavy drugs, because most niggas they really just own two things: weed and drinks. You know what I'm saying? Weed, alcohol. That's it. That's mostly what I see in my generation, and that's what I continue to see. Most black people ain't messing with no heroin, no meth. You know, I ain't saying this none of them, but somebody's gonna try some shit for whatever reason. I'm not gonna call it a reason because I don't know, because I would never fuck with it. But if you keep smoking weed on a daily basis, daily, nightly, you wake up, you in the shower smoking weed around everybody, that shit's gonna bring about self-induced psychosis. You know, depression. Most people that smoke weed is depressed. I mean, people just look at it as like overt sadness. That is and that is psychosis. That is psychosis. There's nothing normal about being so depressed you start losing interest and you know, the things you were once interested in. You start losing interest in your friends. You start changing your value systems. You know what I'm saying? You start everything, like it's depression is so deep. It starts physically changing your brain. So naturally, when you change the neuroplasticity of your brain, some of the things that you were once interested in, some of the things you used to believe in, some of the things that you like, some of the people that you like, some of the people that you used to talk to, if your neuroplasticity in your brain changed because of marijuana, then naturally some other things is gonna change. And a lot of that shit change and you don't even notice it. That's not normal. That's not normal. No, me myself, I deal with depression. And I ain't saying weed is the only thing that can bring that about. But weed is definitely one of the catalysts that brings about depression in a motherfucker's life. You know, it can be total other things. You know, you can lose somebody. You can have something happen to you. All kinds of stuff. But if self-induced psychosis is self-induced, like you don't even have to do that to yourself. Like if anything, if it has to happen to me, I'd rather it come about somebody else. Whether it's by mistake or on purpose, I wouldn't want to do it to myself. But no, I've been depressed and I'm trying to fight off this depression. You know what I'm saying? I've been depressed for many years for different reasons, but one of the reasons was because I would smoke weed. You know what I'm saying? And the irony of it is you gotta keep smoking this shit to wean it off, but just know eventually that shit is coming back. Soon as you not high no more, yeah, you gotta smoke another blunt. You gotta smoke another joint. You gotta smoke another backwood. You gotta smoke all this shit. Like, and it's a reason for that, which is another reason why that's gonna be why you should stop smoking weed, because it's not gonna leave unless you tackle this problem head on. Like unless you confront the problem, it's not gonna leave. It's not gonna leave. You know, I'm also dealing with schizophrenia. Weed is definitely a great way to bring about schizophrenia. Whether they ain't even gotta put nothing in there, they ain't gotta put no spray in there, no pesticides. You can smoke weed from the hood and just be like, you could get self-induced psychosis from schizophrenia, schizoaffective. All these things that come with smoking a lot of weed because you just want to get high. Eventually, you just be wanting to shut off shit. You know what I'm saying? I know it's a lot of people. I deal with paranoia too, and when I started dealing with paranoia, and I'm deep into smoking weed at this point. When I started dealing with paranoia, I'm like, this is different because I never fucking dealt with this. I never dealt with paranoia smoking weed, and I'm on YouTube. This is back when the first iPhone came out. Right unk status, whatever. You know, I'm dealing with the first iPhone, and I'm watching niggas like Ray William Johnson and whoever else is on the internet, PewDiePie, things like that. I'm watching that, I'm smoking weed, and all of a sudden I'm scared to death. Like I'm in the garage, I'm in my stepdad's broken down car watching YouTube videos, and I just start getting scared as fuck. Like, why am I getting scared? I'm smoking blunts. But it's like, you so dependent on it, right? That you start, and I ain't even turn my light on. I'm tripping like a motherfucker. You become so dependent on it, right? That you know you could possibly have a paranoid episode from smoking this blunt, but you still risk it. because you so dependent on it. So that's smoking weed is a great way to bring about self-induced psychosis. You want to be taking pills, shots, all this kind of medication and stuff. Go ahead and smoke that shit if you want to. If you really want to save mind, quit smoking that shit, bro. And number three has to deal with that same thing. It's like smoking weed. They say it's an escape from your problems. That's a very typical one you'll always hear. You'll always hear, no, I got a lot of problems, and weed helped me escape it. But it's gonna bring about so many other problems, bro. It's gonna bring about so many other problems. Trust me. It's better to it's bringing about so many problems as far as like your physicality, your mental, your spiritual, and your financial. That's really like the four. That's like the quadrant of life. What else you got to deal with? Your physical health, your mental health, strength, all that stuff, your financial health, and your spiritual health. It negatively affects all four. It negatively affects all four. And it's like, people say like this, it helps you escape your problems. You're not escaping your problems. As soon as you're not high no more, those problems still exist. They still exist. Like if you're dealing with whatever money problem you dealing with, it still exists once you're not high no more. And furthermore, like I said, it brings about more problems. So if you have a spiritual problem and you're not in the right relationship with whatever you believe in, and you try to smoke that problem away, or you may be a big person. I'm a big person, and you trying to smoke and stop thinking about these problems, dog. You may smoke a lot. You may become skinny. Now you about to have lung cancer. You about to have brain cancer. You just out of shape. You win it whenever you walking around. So it's like, if it does bring about an escape, fine. Just know some more problems coming to you when you smoking that shit. Number 4 reasons why you should stop smoking weed. Smoke induces dopamine plus pleasures like food and sex and all this stuff. Take it from me. I've dealt with all this. I dealt with all this. All that shit brings about funny money, bro. All that shit's gonna fuck with your money. Trust me. The one thing, like I sports bet a little bit. This is the main reason why I'm glad I don't smoke weed no more. Because trying to do anything, trying to make money on like sports betting or forex trading or anything that has to do with like any type of entrepreneurial endeavor, you're not gonna be able to do it to your highest capacity. Like if you got somebody that's on your side, like let's say y'all got maybe different industries in which y'all make money, or you may be in the same one, and this nigga don't smoke weed, but you smoke weed. Just know he gonna hold that shit against you. He gonna hold that shit against you. And it don't matter if this nigga, like, you really gotta be sharp in this shit, bro. You gotta be A1 sharp. You gotta be able to think on your toes and shit like that, dog. Because with sports betting or even forex, and the reason I bring those is because I'm involved in those. But like anything, bro, you gotta be able to emotionally maintain yourself. You gotta have a little bit of emotional control, because fucked up shit can happen. And sports betting, forex, digital marketing, or whatever you may be involved in, shit can get frustrating. Content creation, shit can get frustrating as hell. And you need to be able to emotionally maintain your ability to think straight, to think clear, to be sharp, and all these things, or else it's gonna fuck you up. It's gonna fuck up your money, especially. Like, people already make mistakes when they don't follow the rules of certain endeavors. You already gonna fuck up if you don't know the rules. So if you can't emotionally maintain sharpness, what's that called? Emotional IQ. If you can't maintain these things because you just like to get high, you definitely gonna fuck up. And imagine you fucking deal with clients and shit like that. Let's say you in door-to-door sales. If you want door-to-door sales, which actually still exists, you canvassing and stuff like that, and you reek of marijuana, people gonna hold that against you, bro. Your customers gonna hold that against you. You can't even go to a job. I mean, if you don't care about the job, I still don't recommend smoking weed. But if you had a job at Walmart or fucking McDonald's or, you know what I'm saying? Somebody come up to you and say, how much is the yada yada yada? And you say whatever the price is. You may know the price. But that nigga that approach you, he might not even take you serious. He might ask somebody else that's not high for reassurance. So people don't really your shit's gonna be fucked up if you continuously smoke weed, spending money on weed. Then you gotta spend money on food because you got the munchies. Then you gotta spend money on more weed. You wanna spend money on clothes, but you fucking spent the bag on weed. You gotta work now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like this shit fucking takes from you, bro. This shit takes from you all the time. Now, number 5 in my last reads, I tried not to make this video too long, but we at 16 minutes. Let me see. This fucking weed shit, it takes your humanity from you. And I'm gonna tell you what I mean. Like, this shit takes your humanity from you. Because it's so many people that I see that smoked weed for so long that they said they needed to eat. You needed to eat, nigga? They said they needed to sleep. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, that's something we've been doing before we was born. We were doing that before we was born. You need weed to eat and sleep. That's basic shit. You could probably watch something so fucking funny, won't laugh at it because you ain't high. You watching a comedy special, Kevin Hart, fucking Cat Williams or whatever the fuck. You can play the best game ever. You gotta get high to play it first. I've been here. I had some of my favorite games back in the PS3 era, back in the Xbox era. I gotta get high to play this shit to have fun. And it's like, why do I need that? It's basically taking basic shit that you can enjoy. Basic things that your ability to have fun, your ability to eat when you're hungry, ability to sleep when you're sleepy. All these things. You need to smoke weed to be able to enjoy the basic necessities. This shit takes from you, bro. That shit ain't normal. No, weed making food taste better. So therefore, you don't want to eat unless you high. Like, that shit is stealing from you, bro. That shit is stealing so much shit from you and replacing it with bullshit. I'm telling you, bro. This shit is a thief in the night. I don't know how else to explain it. Because you basically letting a thief in your temple to irregulate all your natural body functions, from your mental to your physical to your spiritual. This shit is literally, I can't even say it's infiltrating. You let it in. If you ever smoke weed, please try to quit, bro. Please. It's like, I stopped smoking weed. I stopped counting. I smoked weed sometime in like past 2011 or 12 or something like that. Before that, I quit long ago before that. But then I smoked again. And then I had some edibles. And then I stopped somewhere in 2012, 13, I can't remember, but I stopped for some years. Just off the strength about how clear you see the world and how clear you think. Like, I know the majority of weed smokers got brain fog. I can't even explain it, bro. The brain fog is crazy. So when you start smoking, even for like a month, bro, like, you think clearly, you see clearly, you walk taller. Like, you ain't got this dark cloud hanging around your shoulder that has to deal with all the shit you trying to escape. It's so much better, bro. It's so much better. Now, this is not medical advice. If you've been diagnosed with, like, you got glaucoma or something, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to say about that. I'm not a fucking doctor. But I'm talking about niggas that just smoking it just because, they want to eat some fucking Doritos or something. They want to enjoy a pizza. You gotta smoke and shit like that. For niggas that's doing that, hey, dog, it's so much better. It's so much better. Trust me. Trust me. Now, if you do decide to stop smoking weed, just know you might gain some weight, nigga. So you might gain some weight, nigga. Trust me. But it's cool because that opens that opens the opportunity for you to get stronger. You know what I'm saying? So you can work out, you get increase your endurance. Because let's face it, you've been smoking weed for years. So with that being said, you probably already gonna be winning walking down the street anyway. You've been doing a number on your lungs, nigga. So you might as well get to ready to go to the gym, lose some weight and things like that. So I encourage you to stop smoking this shit, bro. This shit steals like none other, bro. This shit is a plague in our community, especially in the black community. If you got people around you that, you know what I'm saying, want to peer pressure you into smoking this shit and you don't smoke it, please get away from them. I don't give a fuck who they are. They could be your cousin. They could be your best friend for 10 plus years. Get away from them, bro. That is not your friend no more. This can be a girl that's giving you unlimited booty. I don't give a fuck if this chick look like Nia Long in the 90s. I don't care. Get away from her, bro. Get away from her. I'm telling you, dog. This shit can lead you down the worst path ever. I'm telling you, dog. Let me see. I'm dealing with psychosis, spirituality battles. I'm dealing with mental battles. I got schizophrenia. I'm going through spiritual battles. I got depression. I got financial issues. I got physical issues. All because of this shit, bro. It started with this. That's one of the main catalysts, bro. I'm dealing with all this. I've been dealing with a lot of this stuff because of that drug since I was like 13, 14, 15. I'm 37 now. I'm still dealing with it, bro. I'm still dealing with it. So take it from me. I'm not like, I can't control a nigga. I can't, bro. And I don't want to control a nigga. I don't want to. It's going to be better if you do it. Because I can only control me. I stopped smoking weed years ago. But I'm still dealing with the issues. But escaping these issues from smoking weed, that's not helpful. That's not helping me. And if for me, if I don't tackle these issues, such as like eating too much and, you know, emotional eating and schizophrenia, depression, my financial issues, can't save a dollar, always want to spend money and all these things, you know what I'm saying, then I'm gonna be stuck, nigga. But most of that shit is induced by smoking weed. Like your whole body, like you just move how you want to move when you on that weed, but you know, nobody really tells you how to maintain life after you quit that shit. And I never went to no weed addiction counseling, anything like that. I'm trying to figure this shit out. I wouldn't have had to deal with this shit if I would have listened to my mama to begin with, but you know what I'm saying? But I didn't want to do that. So now I gotta deal with the consequences. You know what I'm saying? So take it from me. I'm maintaining that life and I'm gonna get better. But take it from me, gang. If you don't smoke weed, and someone's trying to convince you to, don't do it, bro. Don't do it. I don't care if they call you lame. I don't care if they don't want to fuck with you no more. I don't care. I don't care what them niggas say, what them hoes say, what your family say. They try to get you to smoke weed. Not only say no, if they keep asking, stop fucking with them, bro. I don't care if they're family. I don't care if they're your best friends. I don't care if they're your record label producer. Hey, bro, stop fucking with them. If you smoke weed right now, please try to stop, bro. Try to stop. Get some counseling. Get something. If you in school, talk to your school counselor. I know it may seem lame. Bro. But trust me, your future will thank you.